So we're converting our whole side yard into gardens, edible landscape, and what we're going to put over there is strawberry boxes. This is not the finished product, but this will give you a good idea of what kind of it'll look like. It'll have a few other things on it. So basically, I started with 2 by 10 by 10s, so they're 10 foot long, 10 foot high, and 2 inches thick, and I cut them at 6 foot, which left me 4 foot, and I cut a foot off of each one, so I got 36 inches for the ends. Now that's important because I'm actually going to put a hinge lid on these, and the hardware cloth is 36 inches wide, so that's why I had to make it 36 inches. Now if I would have got 48-inch hardware cloth, I would have left that extra foot on there, and I would have saved myself a step. So this is going to be the first of many videos. We're going to show you the final product, even with strawberries in it, after I'm done making these. And hopefully you guys like it. But the next step will be I countersink 2 screw holes in each 6 foot, and I'm going to screw those in with 2.5-inch deck screws. And what I went with untreated yellow pine for all of my stuff, just because we prefer to be chemical free on our homestead, and so that's why I went with that. So we'll show you what a few of these look like. I want to do 4 of them, 4 6 foot by 3 foot. Alright, the next part in my strawberry box I'm going to do is I'm going to add some support to the corners. So what I did was I cut these are 2 by 3s instead of 2 by 4s, just because they're cheaper and I don't really need 2 by 4s. So I cut them at 9 inches, which fit down in here good. And what I'll do is I'll hold it flush to the top, like that. And I countersink 2 holes on the end and 1 on the side with the same 2.5-inch screws that I used to put these together. So after this, after I do the corners, and the main reason why I'm doing the corners is because if I want to move them or anything like that, it'll just keep them more square. So the next step is I'll put some rails on this, and you'll see that finished product. So I'll finish 1, and then I'll do all 4, and then we'll work on the hinge lid part. Okay, so now we're at the next step with the strawberry boxes. So here they are. So basically, right now we're just kind of positioning them to where they're going to get the maximum amount of sun, because basically I'm turning this whole side yard into edible landscape, aka strawberries and raspberries and blueberries, stuff like that. So they're finished as far as this part. So what we'll do is we'll figure out where we want them. Once we figure out where we want them, we're going to put this Yard Works. It's 4 by 80 foot. It's the purple label. We're going to put these down. Basically, the easiest way to do this so that way weeds don't get in is flip the box up, staple that to the bottom of the box, and then put the box back down. So that way weeds can't grow up the sides and stuff like that. So after I do that, what we'll do is we'll plant the strawberries. And after the strawberries are actually planted, we'll put soil in there, and then we'll plant strawberries. After the strawberries are planted, and you can see these are the ones we're going to move. We started these last year. So we're going to put them in there, and then I'll make the lid and put the lid on. And the reason being, it'd be kind of silly to try to put the strawberries in there and the dirt in there while I have the lids on. So I'll do that afterwards. So the next video you'll see is probably the strawberries in the boxes, or maybe I'll just shoot one after the lids are on. Okay, so we're putting our lids together now. We're using 5/8 by 1/4 inch crown staples and the nail gun. Basically, you just pin up the edge and roll it out, and then go up the sides, and then I leave about that much and take some snips and cut it. So this is what it'll look like when one lid is done. I went ahead and put a handle on the front, a big bulky handle, that way you can lift them up, and then you can prop maybe a board in there to keep them open if you wanted to be in there picking strawberries and whatnot like that. See, the only reason why we're putting hardware cloth on the top of these is because birds and raccoons have gotten in our strawberry patches before and gotten what they wanted. So that's why I'm putting the lid on with the hardware cloth. So I got my 4 lids here, and I'll show you the finished product. So here's the finished products, and we put 25 startup plants in each one, and they are already producing strawberries. You can see that, and what they'll do is they'll spread throughout the whole box, and she'll show you how the lid works. Go ahead, T. There you go. There's the lid. So this is the finished product, and as you can see, like I said, there's strawberries, and if we would have planted these outside or with no lid like we did last year, the rabbits and raccoons and everything would just have already eaten the strawberries before we got to pick them. So I had them, both of them, both rows, the lid opens like this. So on this one, you put a bucket there and open the lid right into, put the handle right on the bucket. Bam. So you can do two, however you want to do it. But, yep, it's working. God bless.